What's up YouTubers, Johnny DIY here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to fix your kitchen cracked, chipped, or damaged countertops. If you guys are new to my channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe and the notification bell so you can get all my new videos. Alright, let's get to it. So this is the kitchen countertop we're going to be working on today. It is a solid surface or synthetic countertop, and you can see a nice large crack right here on the edge, this facing edge right here. It's a pretty large crack. If your counter's cracked right on the top and it's not really an open crack, what you can do is you can get a Dremel like this, and you're going to want to put the little grinding bit on this. You're going to grind that crack open just a little bit, enough that we can put the glue in the crack. Save the dust that you grind out of that crack. We'll use that later. And what you can also do is grind off a little of the material on an area where you can't really see, like maybe on the side of the stove right here, or over by the refrigerator, somewhere, you know, or underneath a little bit, and just save that dust. If you've ground it out with your Dremel, you're going to want to take a little compressed air, spray out all that dust out of the crack. Then you're going to want to clean the crack in the area really well. I'm using rubbing alcohol. That'll get all the grease and all the dirt off of the area. And then get something like a toothpick, and you're going to want to dig out the crack and make sure you get all the dirt out of the crack. And then you're going to want to take some masking tape, and you're going to want to run it right alongside the crack. Make sure that edge is pushed down nice. Clean it again, make sure we don't get any grease in that crack. Okay, now what we're going to be using to glue the surface is 2-part clear epoxy. I'll make sure I put links down in the description to some of this epoxy, as well as the rest of the tools and supplies I'm using today, guys. So you just mix 50% of each together, and we're just going to mix it up with a little stick. You're going to want to mix it for about 1 minute. Okay, now while you're mixing it, this is the part where you're going to want to add that dust that you kept when you ground with your Dremel. You're going to add the dust right into the epoxy and mix it. You don't have to do the dust step, but if you're really picky and you want it to match perfect, put the dust right in the epoxy. Now we're going to want to fill that crack in all the way across. I'm using quick setting epoxy, so you got to work kind of fast. Really press it into the crack. Use my toothpick to really shove it down in there. This spot luckily is on a spot where I can get some clamps on it, so I'm just going to shim it with a couple of these wooden paint sticks to not damage the counter. And I'm going to clamp it down with my C-clamps good and tight to try and tighten up that crack and squeeze the rest of the glue out from the inside the middle. Another clamp on this before it slides off. If you're unable to get clamps on it, that's fine. You just want to fill that crack in, and you can fill it a little above the crack. It doesn't have to be flush. You can have a little extra glue on top. Clean that up after. Now we're just going to let this epoxy set up and dry for I bet about an hour or so. Okay, so I ended up letting it set overnight, but that's not necessary. This kind of quick setting epoxy only really needs a couple good hours to cure. Now I'm just going to take a razor blade, carefully going to run it along that edge, not to dig into the countertop. Just going to scrape away any of that excess glue, try and make it a little more flush. I got most of it scraped off. Now we're going to take some sandpaper. This is fine grit sandpaper. This is 1000 grit. And I'm just going to sand it down and try and get the rest of that glue off. This is fine grit so we don't end up damaging the counter. It's almost like polishing sand and paper. Here we got it nice and smooth with the 1000 grit. Now we're going to bump it up to 2000 grit. That's just going to make it even smoother. Just do this for a few minutes. I'll go ahead and clean it up. And I've got a little polishing compound, which is like an even finer grit sandpaper. So you could do this to your whole countertops and it really shines them up, brings that shine back to them, gets rid of the dull finish. So you can still see the crack just a tiny bit, but this is way better. But that's it, guys. That is how to fix a cracked or damaged countertop. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe and also click the little notification bell so you can get my new videos. Thanks for watching Johnny DIY. Keep on doing it yourself, guys. Take care.